Hey, what's going on? It's Scott. I worked in law enforcement for several years, and if you're thinking to yourself, should I become a police officer or not? It's ultimately up for you to decide. However, in this video, I have police officers located in various areas of the country, and they're going to give you solid advice as to what to consider. And yeah, at the end of the video, some of you are going to think, maybe it's not for me after all. I hope this video helps you come up with a calculated decision. Let's get right into it.
Here's some things to consider before you jump right into this profession. The first thing is consider the family that you're bringing into the career with you. Are you married? Do you have any kids? Maybe one day you want to get married and have some kids. You're going to want to consider that you are bringing a family into this career to take the journey with you. So the demands of the job will also be required of your family. The key to a successful career is having a great support system. So you want a family that understands what the job will demand of you and that you guys strategize together so you're ready to meet those challenges head on together as a team. Another thing you want to consider when you're coming into law enforcement are the risks. I think everybody understands law enforcement is dangerous, and so they understand it's risky. There are not too many other jobs in this world that one has to consider. When I leave for work today, I may not come home. With that comes a whole set of other challenges. The risks to you on the streets are obvious, but you want to consider that these same risks will be a challenge for you emotionally. So you're going to want to ensure that you have a strong support team in your corner in terms of emotional support. You have a doctor for your heart health. You have a doctor for any other reason that you might need medical attention. So make sure you have a good, strong corner team and a medical professional that's going to help support you emotionally and your family so that you not only thrive in your career on a professional level, but you thrive in your personal life as well.
Should you go into law enforcement? It really depends on what kind of person you are, what your character is, what motivates you, and what kind of heart you have. To people thinking about law enforcement, you got to know yourself. The most important thing to know about yourself in this situation is, are you internally motivated or are you externally motivated? If you're internally motivated, you don't need that pat on the head. You don't need the people to tell you, good job, way to go, attaboy. You don't need that. That's what's going to make you successful in law enforcement. That's what's going to cause you to have a happy, long career. The truth is, we do encounter a lot of problems. We have to make decisions and live with them. And it's not easy to be a cop. If you need somebody to reassure you constantly, if you don't know what you're about, if you don't know what you believe in, this ain't for you.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? This is Clee Tillman, the host of Black and Blue. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Scott, for reaching out and asking me to do this question. I've been a police officer for 18 years now. I'm also the host of Black and Blue. And there's wonderful reasons why you should become a cop if you're kind of teetering and don't understand what you may need to do or what things you want to pursue. You can actively be a contributing member to your community and worry about the public safety of your friends and everyone else in your family and help society. With law enforcement, you can make a difference. You get to make the community a safer place for your family, your friends, your children that you may possibly have. Leaving that legacy, you will be rewarded. This is a fun job. It's a front row ticket to the best seat on earth. Don't forget to have that camaraderie and teamwork that comes along with working with a department, the right department that's just for you. You build lifelong friendships and relationships with guys that you go through and experience with things that you can't even discuss or even understand until you're in that tight-knit group. The job is never the same twice. You know, you can work a variety of different kind of elements in law enforcement, whether it's patrol, whether it's investigations, whether it's undercover work, whether it's on the SWAT team. You could do so many different things that you can pursue and keep leveraging until you become better. The salaries are very, very competitive. Most departments are even giving out bonuses now. You know, you can very easily move up the ladder and make a decent living, make a decent amount of money working for this police department. Not only that, you got a good salary, like I said, you got good pension, you got a good retirement plan. Also, the benefits in itself for you and your family members, a lot of things that you don't need to worry about while you're working this career. You know, you could be a part of the solution instead of the problem. You can help bridge the gap. A lot of the community, they wonder what good is the police department, but if you're a part of it, you're part of the reason that's good. You want to be that person that shows up on a call and helps figure it out. Use your problem-solving skills to get things done for your family, friends, people that you grew up with, or society as a whole.
I highly suggest anyone that's considering law enforcement to go ahead and give it a try. Many people are for you, and I find that being in law enforcement is one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. The simple fact is that you go in day out, helping others overcome some of the worst problems in their life, and knowing that you played a small part and having a huge impact in their life. While some people might not like being law enforcement, or they might not the stigma that comes around it, or the problem situation that arise because of different situations that happen around the country, at the end of the day, it's many people that enjoy being a law enforcement officer and that appreciate what we do. So, in short, yes, if you want to be in law enforcement, I highly suggest and encourage anyone that's interested in the profession to come and join it. You will be forever changed.
To go experience a ride along. I would experience a ride along during the week, and then I would experience a ride along during the weekend. And, people also ask me, is it better to do a ride along in the country, or is it better to do one down in the, well, where are you going to work at? Where do you want to work? What type of stuff have you looked up that backs the reason on why you want to be a police officer to begin with? It's a true calling. So, if it's something where you're like, well, I don't know if I like to wear all that gear, or boy, that's 12 hours a day. Boy, man, that's a lot. If it's knocking down your cons faster than it is your pros, I would probably look at something else.
Before you get into it, develop who you are as a person. Because one day, whether it's 25, 30, 35 years, you're going to have to retire. And once you retire, the person that you came in as, that's who you should try to maintain. It's easy to say now, nearly 20 years in law enforcement, been going through several agencies and just being around the block, so to speak. But a lot of things that I faced early on in my career were pretty much was a challenge of who I was as a person. And I didn't really know the going back and forth that it was at the time. But as I look at it now, I could have handled situations a lot better. But it wasn't because I didn't want to, or I didn't have any desire to do them the right way. It's because before I got into law enforcement, I didn't really know who I was as a person. And even my early years on law enforcement, I still didn't know. 15 years later is when I actually learned. And now things I talk about now is self-awareness, because a lot of times in this industry, you get caught up, you get bogged down, you get pushed so far back into everybody else's situation and issues, you forget that you're still a person. For anybody who's considering law enforcement, early on, consider who you are. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? You're in here trying to make a difference. And as long as you realize who you are before you come into this industry, it's going to be a lot easier and a lot smoother to hit that 3 decades or 4 decades mark that we all strive for.
My number one recommendation is to know your why. You know what? Policing can be pretty varied. There's going to be some awesome days and some really hard days. For the really hard days, being able to come back to your purpose, why are you doing this, is what's going to help you get through those days. And there's awesome days too, right? There's days where you get to go do really cool things, really intense experiences that form awesome friendships and great bonds with your coworkers, and you'll get to work with some of the best people you ever met. I'd also say stick with it. It took me 3 years to get hired, and I've been fortunate enough to get to do some really cool things in my career. So if you're not successful at first, ask what you can do better, and then put in the work to get better so that you can be ready to do the hard things when it comes time. All right, good luck, everybody.
I get asked this question a whole lot, and it changes. I love the humanitarian side of law enforcement. I love giving back to my community. I love interacting with my community. I have countless stories about me going out of my way to help people, from from calls I've been on to domestics to things involving children, people being evicted. I've went out of my way to help them get the resources that they need. And I feel like for me, that's been the most rewarding part of being a police officer, is just interacting with my community, interacting with people from all walks of life, all cultures. And I will say, for the younger officers getting in, the newer generation, learn how to talk to people. That's something that I see missing in law enforcement right now. Verbal de-escalation will take you a long way in this job. Common sense as well. And also remember the golden rule. Be that officer that you would want your family members to interact with. Keep that mentality to learn. Come in this wanting to learn, and also find a mentor. Very important. I wish you guys best of luck. It's a rewarding career, and I love it.
Don't forget to buy the new book, The Power in Showing Up. It's on Amazon. The link is below.